So this talk is about developers reference wants your help. Hello DebConf people, I'm happy to be here. I'll start, as said, this is a live talk. I'm Holger, probably know me, Holger at Debian.org, Debian member since some years, user longer. I've done some work for reproducible builds, as I talked in my talk on Tuesday. But for today, it's probably more interesting that I did my first upload on Tuxmas in January 2006. And my first contribution to DevRes was also in 2006. But after that, I've only started committing since 2016. My first upload was in 2019. And today I will talk about DevRef, give a short introduction, some bit of history, bit of the status quo, translations, and bugs, where you can help. I'm really hoping for help for people contributing, because you can just fix stuff, commit it to Git, and push. I will review that, and Debian will be better. And there's many areas of which developers reference is describing, which other people know better than me. So what is DevRef? It's the guideline information for Debian packages, the description says. The package contains the Debian developers reference, a set of guidelines and best practices, which have been established by and for the community of Debian developers. It's maintained, the maintainer addresses the Debian policy mailing list. It also recommends policy, and currently we're at developers reference 12.0. This will be the next version for Bookworm, and it's currently unreleased. The homepage is where you can read the document in all four formats: text, HTML, PDF, and EPUB. And the homepage is updated by uploading the package. Debian reference, developers reference is not Debian policy. It has the best practices, some guidelines, but policy really describes the policy requirements for Debian distribution, the structure and content of the Debian archive, and technical requirements each package must satisfy. The developer's reference is meant to be guidelines, should help you. This contents how to become a member, duties as a developer, resources for Debian members, managing packages, best packaging practices, and beyond packaging, and some words about internationalization and translation. And it also has translations to French, German, Italian, Russian, and Japanese, and they are available in their own respective binary packages. Developers reference is quite old. The first version was created by Christian Schwarz. Then Adam Di Carlo worked on it, Raphael Herzog, Andreas Vaz, Luca Nussbaum, and Hideki Yamami, and myself recently. It's GPL2 licensed. Some more history about it. Started in 1997. It was first maintained, or in the beginning it was not maintained in any version control, but since 1988 it's in Subversion, has been. Then Lukas Nussbaum did the switch to Git in 2014, at that time still Colab mained. And it has 1,650 commits from around 60 authors. And in the past 24 years, there were 106 uploads by 11 uploaders. So about 4 uploads per year. And it used to be written in XML using DocBooks XSLT. So it was not really easy to edit. It was actually quite painful. Like a patch, writing a patch was really hard. But this has changed. We now use restructured text, markdown. So it's really easy. It's just text which you write. It's in Git on Salsa, Git hosted on Salsa. It just uses one main branch. It's maintained by the Debian group, so every Debian developer can directly commit, and maintainers can request access. So please just commit and push your patches. Just do. And I know that people just are trustworthy to push this stuff. I will review that, and I'm sure there's no damage done. And if you're really not sure, you can also use bugs or merge requests if you want to review. I'm happy to do that. The Debian changelog is generated from git commit message, so there's no need to write Debian changelog entries, just write git commit messages, please. Oh, did we lose the slides? Hello? Are the slides back? Seems like this. Let's see. There's a bit of delay on the video, so I cannot really. So now the next thing. Hello? Are the slides gone?
The slides are fine. If you just move on.
Okay, sorry. So
you should watch Git rather than the stream.
Okay, and the stream has delay. All right, I will just continue then and hope that Daniel tells me when the slides are gone for real. There we are. So since 2019, I've done 27 uploads. I would like to see other uploaders, but uploading is really the easy part. So again, please just fix stuff and commit stuff, or just comment on the bugs. I also think submitting one patch during the NM process would really be great. So when looking forward to today, this is the table of contents, and there's one restructured text file for each of the chapters, plus the index and the resources file. So you have 10 files to edit. And translations are done via PO files, like they usually are. And there's one, or for those languages, French, German, Italian, Russian, and Japanese, and they're maintained in the same Git repository. And there's no real workflow because of the history also. Because PO files, PO files need to be updated after the English version has been updated, and there's 8 PO files per language, and so there's no statistics available anymore, and there's no web letter support. And Tiago from the Brazilian Portuguese translation initiative asked whether we could use that to a web platform that does not use Git. I'd be open to it. But there's work to be done. I'd like to see a Git hook which updates the PO files after it updates to the English version so that this is automated. Then I would like some translation statistics to enable reminders to being able to send mails, hey, that translation is outdated, please translate some strings. And I think web letter support has become popular among translators, but that needs somebody to maintain the web letter setup and sync the translations with Git. And yeah, so the translation part needs your help for the actual translations and for improving the processes around it, because I really have enough spoons to care for the English version, but I cannot work on the translation part. I'll be very happy to help, review, explain the problems in more detail, etc. And there are a number of bugs. Seems like I've missed something. Anyhow, so there's one normal bug, 5 minor bugs, and 39 wishlist bugs, and 2 won't fix bugs, which I won't fix. If somebody thinks they are worth fixing, I will review them. And there's 476 archived bugs. So this is when I started working on DevRef in 2019. I fixed quite some bugs, but that stopped. Then basically I still fixed a few more, but since a year nothing really is happening. So of course, all bugs are visible on the usual place, but I've got a list of them here as well. So this is the only really thing which is wrong in DevRef, which is the rename procedure for packages is out of date. If you worked on this recently and have some fixes, please submit them. The minor bugs are mostly from the markdown conversion to strings also. So there's still some problems, like the info page needs to include more from the index. Some problems with the appendix, uses some hard-coded version numbers in distro info. And there used to be one single page for the whole HTML manual that doesn't exist anymore. It's now a split document. I've tagged them minor also because they're not about the content, but about the form. While all the wishlist bugs are about the content, actually. This is from the newest first. So the new incoming upload system hasn't been documented. The email gateway for developers and LDAP access is not documented. How to coordinate with upstream developers. That new email. Oh, this is not shared. And UpArmor is wishlist bug to document this, and transitions are also not mentioned in the reference. Then there's how to deal with failing services during install and upgrade of the bug, how to handle backports, how to upload to stable and stable proposed updates, point upstream to the PTS subscription, and that developers should encourage verification of upstream developers' cryptographic signatures. And I'm telling all these bugs again, really, if you know about these topics, I would like you to ask to look at this bug, comment on this bug, either comment on the bug, submit a patch. That would be really nice. There's more old bugs about duplicate packages in Debian. This one I forgot what it is. Then there's this include a paragraph about Debian maintainers. I think it has a paragraph, but it was written when there was only Debian developers, and now the term is members. And so some wordings don't fit anymore. Maintainers are not mentioned really much. That part needs more update. There was a wishlist bug to document how to deal with technically neglected developers. I'm not sure I want to document this. Then the documentation, the communication channels of the Debian developers should be better documented. And best practices for date and snapshot-based versions. This next bug is about developers' reference and policy should agree on where to document tarball packaging. There's a thread on Debian Devil about this right at the moment. So if you participate in the thread, maybe you want to look at this bug. There's a bug about native packages, that they are not tightly specific to Debian, because there's other distros which use them. And well, I'm not sure whether I should go through them all, but it's almost done. This bug, explain the Debian DS suffixes, is partly explained. So there's probably some bugs which can just be closed. This one can be merged, I think, with the renaming procedures out of date bug. Document the new Debian package convention. The bug has a 400,000 number, so it's more than 10 years old. There's quite some old bugs because of this developer's reference used to be in DocBook and hard to edit. And also there's another bug about documenting best practices for requesting translation and updates, which is fitting for the developer's reference itself. The best practice is to create and delete system accounts. The best practice there is not to delete system accounts. More information about unused direct dependencies and as needed LD flags. An old bug to explain that Debian isn't a democracy and how it works instead. Provide a link to the Debian security manual. Sounds like a 3-liner patch. Best practices for dummy transition packages. And so on. There's 2 more pages. Explanation of conflicts replaces provides. More verbose instructions on new upstream packages. Information about debt tags is missing. Wanna build states and build problem resolution should be documented in developer reference. And it's unclear how packages should move directories while allowing compat symlinks. Isn't this user merge? I don't know. Also guidelines to keep the package namespace sane. I think that we have many policies like the Golang packages or the Haskell packages, which could be documented here. Best practices for web apps is also open, and dealing with alternatives is also not documented yet. So yeah, as explained, please fix bugs, comment on the bugs, just git commit and push. It's described in README. Contributing in Git. Just do, please. That was my talk. Thanks to everyone who has ever contributed to a source developers reference, and especially to those who will do so in future. Thank you. I'm now joining the DC Talks 21. I talked to the first room channel to get questions there. But that is wrong. There. No, the question is, using Omega T is good, but should we give up using Git? No, I don't think we should use Git, and that is what I have not replied to Thiago on Debian Devil yet. I think we should keep using Git, which tool we then use to maintain the translation itself. I don't really care whether it's Omega T or WebLatte or whatever, but I think in the end, the string should be in Git. Okay, Thiago is commenting on the Etherpad, saying that Omega T is a desktop application which uses Git, but if the Debian reference is maintained via some online webflow, that will not use it. And again, I think this is up to the people doing the translation, providing an alternative infrastructure for translations, what tool they choose. I don't care, as long as it ends up in Git. So there's not yet more questions forwarded from the Etherpad. I have 25 minutes left. Yes, I felt the talk was very quick. But I think I have one message for the talk. It's maintained in Git, restructured text on salsa. Every DD can commit. Please commit or comment. Should be the reference. We are often talking that Debian doesn't have a unified documentation, and this we do have policy. We have developers reference. We have the security manual. We have Debian guidelines. So there are documents. There's also there are several good packaging documents which can be linked in reference. I would like to become the reference again. The reference. That was the goal of my talk, to tell you that you should and can, and maybe I would like to see you help. So if there is no further questions, then I think I will just finish the talk. Thank you, and enjoy DebConf not because this is the last talk, so enjoy the closing ceremony. Thanks for all the loopy loops. Thanks to the video team, and bye-bye. See you next year, hopefully for real.